what I thought was going to be possibly the best game of the weekend, Chiefs and Jaguars, Chiefs win 17-9, was Patrick Mahomes versus Trevor Lawrence, was a coaching showdown of Andy Reid and Doug Peterson, was two of the top 7-8 teams in the NFL facing off for what could be a potential AFC title game matchup in the Chiefs and the Jaguars. And oh, what your best players will absolutely do for you in key moments in a close game where you got to pull out all the stops and really make things happen. Chris Jones comes back, 1.5 sacks. Travis Kelsey comes back. Might have only been 4 catches for 26 yards, but it was a touchdown. Travis Kelsey scores a touchdown in his return. Chris Jones has his hand in two very key defensive plays with 1.5 sacks. So your best players can do a lot for you. And I will say, if there's no Kelsey and no Chris Jones in this game, we're possibly talking about the Chiefs panicking at 0-2. But could we really panic if they didn't have those two players also in this game as well? It was a big bounce back win for Kansas City, no doubt. Even though they were penalized 12 times for 94 yards, the refs heard how the Chiefs got away with all the false starts from Jawan Taylor against the Lions literally all night. Well, not in this game. Jawan Taylor flagged 5 times for those false starts. Kansas City also turns the ball over 3 times in the first half, a couple of fumbles. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes does have the interception, but he learns to spread the ball around. Again, tying a career high with complete passes to 11 different receivers. 305 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, the interception that I did talk about. Sky Moore gives you a bounce back game with 70 receiving yards and a touchdown on 3 catches. Kadarius Toney, who had a ton of drops no passes in this game. Finished with 35 yards on 5 catches, catching all 5 of his targets. Mahomes does his thing with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, scrambling around, stopping, planning, and just throwing a nice overhead pass to Sky Moore that kind of put it down and sealed the game against the Jaguars. And, the Chiefs come out of the half and do what they're supposed to do, right? They don't look too good in the first half. They come out of the half, which only had 4 total rushing attempts in the first half. They come out immediately, go 81 yards down the field on 7 plays. They get their best player outside of Mahomes in position on the offensive side of the ball, score the touchdown with Travis Kelsey. But the Chiefs just have to get more balanced offensively. I mean, we can't continue to have it be the Patrick Mahomes show where they can't. Yes, Patrick Mahomes is special. He's a magician. He can do just about anything. He can make any throw. Is any moment too big for him? But when you start to really rely on the Sky Moores and Kadarius Toneys and the Rashee Rices of the world, whenever he'll start to get his implementation, it makes you wish that they would have possibly kept that Mecole Hardman, who, yes, had, rumors of not running the greatest routes and maybe not grasping the offense, but he was a pick out of Georgia for a reason. Mecole Hardman was a major player at Georgia during some great seasons. Obviously, he's on now. He's gone to the New York Jets, but the Chiefs have to get more balanced offensively because, like we've seen when I was talking about Colorado and college football, when we're talking about Matthew Stafford later on in the show here, dropping back for over 50 times in a game, 55 dropbacks. Yes, Mahomes is the one to do that, but that eventually wears on your body time and time and time again. And you got to give a shout out to the Chiefs defense, right? Holding the Lions the way that they did in week 1 to 14 offensive points, 9 points in this game. The Chiefs have given up 25 total points in the NFL season with their defense. Third downs were an absolute strong suit defensively for the Kansas City Chiefs. They went 0 for 2. They held the Jags to 0 for 2 on 4th downs, and they didn't let the Jags did not get into the red zone one time in this game. The front 7 stuffed the run. They held Calvin Ridley in check, which was big after he had a huge first game. The Jags recorded just 271 yards of total offense, and that was actually the fewest points scored in a win for the Chiefs since week 9 of 2021. Big credit to the defense. They hold a struggling Jags offense as of right now. Trevor Lawrence and the Jags offense has not looked good in the first 2 weeks of the year, really struggling on third down and big time with efficiency. Just a couple numbers here. They didn't score a touchdown in this game, Jacksonville. They went 3 for 12 on third down and 0 for 3 in the red zone. Trevor Lawrence was 22 of 41, so damn near 50% in this game, 216 yards. Travis Etienne had 12 carries for 40 yards. Christian Kirk had 11 passes caught for 110. Calvin Ridley was held to 2 for just 32. Andy Reid was not going to get beat by Calvin Ridley. Steve Spagnuolo has got this defense in a great spot, and they were not going to get beat by the Jags, arguably best player offensively outside of Trevor Lawrence, and I guess if you want to throw Travis Etienne into that mix as well. But the big thing was there were 3 times where either Zay Jones or Calvin Ridley just couldn't get 2 feet down in this game. So they had some good plays drawn up against a very well put together Spags defense, but the Jaguars only scored 6 points on 3 possessions inside the Chiefs 20. So I think I misspoke there earlier when I said that what's it called? Excuse me, not that they didn't get in the red zone once, talking about the Chiefs defense standing up against the Jags. They didn't get in the end zone, not one time. No touchdown scored on the day. And it's horrible to see it when you have 3 first half turnovers on the Chiefs, who are an elite team, 2 fumbles, an interception. You got themselves fumbling right after they get a fumble from the Chiefs. They win the turnover battle against an elite team, and they couldn't turn it into offense. They're bad again on third down, just like they were against Indianapolis. I want to say they were they only had 3 third down conversions against Indianapolis. I know that. I don't know if it's 3 of 9, 3 of 10, 3 of 12, something around there. The Jags got to get it together offensively. Yes, they put up 31 points in week 1. You're also talking about a Colts defense who did do their job to hold the Jags and Trevor Lawrence into check, but you're also wondering, like, what are the Jags really going to do to adjust here? Doug Peterson is a good coach. Trevor Lawrence is a great quarterback. They've got a lot of talent on the offense. They are working some new things in with Calvin Ridley. Obviously, trying to find some spots for Zay Jones as well, who had a score last week. Zay Jones and Ridley could have had more scores this week. But this isn't the offense that we were expecting from the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is not the Trevor Lawrence, the Doug Peterson, the offensive, camaraderie that we were expecting here from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I do give them grace. It's a Steve Spagnuolo defense they went up against. It's the Super Bowl champions that they went up against. But you're at home. You force 3 turnovers on an elite team, and you're not able to turn it into offense. You don't even get in the end zone. 0 for 3 in the red zone, 3 for 12 on third down. Absolutely devastating. But you guys get in the chat, get in the comments, let me know what you think about the Chiefs and the Jags in this game. Kansas City has to balance out the offense more. The defense is the story of this team now, only giving up 25 total points in the NFL season. And the Jags have to find themselves offensively. They're horrible on third down. Now they're averaging 20 points per game over two games. But when you don't even score a touchdown and you have an offer in the red zone, you're crap on money downs, that's not going to win you a lot of football games in the National Football League.